Hello everyone, my name is Pie Patch, and welcome to our latest game. This one's called Our Life, Beginnings and Always. As usual, look, I'll be honest, I don't know much about it. I think it's a visual novel of some sort, but it seems to be very customizable. I think it's traveling through 15 years of your character's life, exploring your relationship with a boy who lives next door to you. I think it's a romance. I don't actually know if it necessarily has to be, but we'll see, I guess. I haven't started a game, so I guess I'm gonna hit new file. I know next to nothing about this game. It's pretty though. Oh, tutorial time, thank you. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Hi, this is just Future Patch jumping in here to let you know this tutorial is a little bit long. It's mostly just talking through some of the mechanics, but I will put a timestamp on screen now if you just want to skip straight to the gameplay, and I don't blame you at all for that. Do what you want. Welcome to Our Life, Beginnings and Always. There are various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. I may or may not just skip over this part for you, so we'll see. To start off, the game is divided into 3 time periods called steps. Step 1, childhood. Step 2, adolescence. Step 3, teenaged. Our life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Those are called moments. I really like this. This feels like it's set out like an indie tabletop role-playing game, and I like that. That's a very, for anyone who's played those kinds of games, it's a very specific tone, but it's very unique. That's often difficult to capture in storytelling, so it's beautiful. Moments can be played in any order or skipped entirely. You move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting that summer is ending. Steps 1 to 3 include 5 moments each, and even more can be unlocked by purchasing DLCs. Hell yeah, always down for some DLC. Some are out now and other DLCs will release later on. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns. Hell yeah, baby! Interests, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. You can decide to change the details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. I like that. Hell yeah, so you can even kind of mimic changing of gender identity and stuff like that. That's nice. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered once set. Hell, I like that. That's nice. I've never seen that in a game before. Hell yeah, okay, cool. I've had a bit of a go at making tabletop role-playing games myself. That's a kind of a nice feature. I think it'd be really nice to see in a tabletop role-playing game. I mean, of course you can kind of play that out in a TTRPG at any time, the kind of changing of characterization, but a lot of the time in games, once you kind of make your character, mechanics-wise, you can't really change a lot of the stuff. It'd be interesting to kind of work that into mechanics. Anyway, there's a very different type of gaming we're talking about there, but that's fine. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on a character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type in any name you like, or you can pick a preset name. Preset options are called voice names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. Oh jeez. You'll get to hear him say... So it is okay, cool. So it is a romance pursuing this guy. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. That's... tempting. Very tempting. But also I like the immersion of having, quote-unquote, like my name in it. Not to mention I like to read them myself, so, we'll see. Only the default name, Jamie, is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added by getting a free voice name That's really cool. I like that. I've never seen a game do that before. I feel like I'm going to be seeing that a lot during this. The full collection of names is separated out as a DLC because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't need to get it. Hey, nice, I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Each name in the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported this project. That's so nice. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your MC looks like with the different traits put together. Not all things you decide about the MC appear on the doll. The script referencing what you've decided for the MC is the main way those decisions influence the game. Our life has a first-person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to other character sprites. You only see the MC as a decorative doll in special cut-in CG images. The cut-in CGs only appear if certain choices are made. It's possible not to see any during a playthrough. There's also a second type. They're going into a lot of detail in this tutorial. I kind of appreciate it. Like, I can get really anxious going into new games, so spelling out what the experience is going to be for me is nice. Like, I love theatre and going to plays and musicals, but also I will not go if I know there's audience participation. So when they specifically like tell me there is or isn't going to be audience participation in there, really appreciate that. Thanks, bud. Thanks. There's also a second type of special MC-based screen, their interest/comfort screen. Unless you get DLCs, the game has one love interest, Cove Holden. He grows up with the MC, and the interest/comfort screen is crucial for determining how that plays out. Interest level sets how much you like him. There are 4 levels: disinterest, same, fond, crush, and love. Love is only available starting sorry, I think someone's putting their bins out here. Either that or we have a very spontaneous midday blue sky storm. Love is only available starting in step 3, and if you are at fond or crush in step 2. Comfort determines how you generally react/think when it comes to him. There are 3 levels: nervous, relaxed, and direct. I like that. I'm working on a book at the moment. It's a romance, which is very different for me because usually I'm a big fantasy and sci-fi person, especially when it comes to my own writing, and romance is super out of my comfort level. But as an ace and like demi-romantic person, I'm really trying to explore comfort when it comes to relationships, and especially romantic relationships. So I really appreciate them that putting in that aspect of comfort into it. I'll probably explore that more later because I feel like it's inevitably something I'm going to be talking about while we're playing this game. But let's continue. Your level of interest and comfort will set the type of dynamic your character has with the love interest. What you did in the past will influence the present, and feelings can change over time. This is so cool. You get to pick your interest/comfort near the beginning of every step. Comfort can switch between the 3 levels as you please. Your interest level can only stay the same or increase. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond in step 1, disinterest will not be available on the screen in steps 2 and 3, which will make fond the bottom level option for your relationship. Well, that's interesting. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Cove. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him, and Cove will occasionally interact with the MC in lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting in step 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you're at crush or love. I think most of the time when I play these kinds of games, I usually pursue female love interests, and usually pursuing male love interests kind of makes me a little uncomfy. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go, but I think I just want to try and go whole hog on this. Like, we're in it, we might as well. It's all or nothing, baby. To make sure things go nicely with that, there will be an extra choice to determine initiative level, and a bonus mini tutorial that goes, oh, that's nice. Basically, even if you decide you like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. I appreciate that. You can always choose not to get together with him, choose not to accept or give romantic gestures, etc. If you do decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. I don't know why I found that so funny. Interest/comfort gets the basics down, but it's the choices that appear throughout the normal game events that decide what actually happens between the MC and Cove. Cove is a cool name, by the way, and it isn't only the MC who is impacted by your decisions. Cove grows and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences help shape who he becomes. In step 2 and step 3, Cove's personality, appearance, and interests will vary based on what happens in the previous step. It's something of a mystery exactly how your decisions end up changing him. You could try to guess as you go along. Or if you prefer, you can also just design your own ideal Cove directly using the Cove Creator option that pops up at the beginning of steps 2 and 3. Making the choices you want is always more important than making a choice because you feel like you have to in order to get a certain result. Hey, hell yeah. When a choice does appear, usually you'll see that hovering the cursor over an option shows a certain colour, yellow, blue or green. The colours aren't related to specific points or effects, they're only there to give a bit of insight on the tone/emotion of the choice, since text alone can potentially be read in more than one way. It feels super accessible for like neurodivergent people who might have trouble interpreting some of like language and stuff in visual novels. I really appreciate that because I definitely find that in some games. Like, I love Life is Strange and stuff, but sometimes you get that issue of prompts being kind of vague, or me not completely understanding social cues and stuff like that. You can end up accidentally leading yourself down a path that you didn't want, because this feels like it's attempting to address that, and I appreciate that. Blue tends to be casual/straightforward, yellow more emotive or reactive, and green less certain or uncommitted. Interesting. Though there are hundreds of options in our life and not every choice menu falls in line with that pattern, picking just one colour every time doesn't give a gameplay benefit. Only stick to a certain type if that's what you happen to like, otherwise switch between them freely. I like that they mentioned that, thank you, because I would get nervous about that. Always pick yellow, never pick yellow, pursue romance right from the start, never romance the love interest, be disagreeable or amiable. None of them will lead to a bad ending. Oh, thank you. You're welcome to enjoy the events and shape the story without reservation. And then, if you like, you can play again to try something new. There's only ever more good content to discover. This is so wholesome. I know I'm gonna fall in love with this game already. Oh gosh. I'm almost certainly going to play through it with her once. Whether or not that's all going to be seen here, we'll see, but we hope you have a nice time with our life. Thank you for playing. Thank you for inviting me. Okay, let's jump into it. Oh, I love character creation. Okay. Am I going to make them look like me? I don't know, I guess we'll see. I literally have been sitting here for like 10 minutes and I can't think of a last name. What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna play word association. Pie patch. Pumpkins. Latte. Chai. Tea. Marmalade. I'm just thinking of idol groups now. I'm panicking. Mushrooms. I like mushrooms. No, I don't like to eat mushrooms. I like the aesthetic of mushrooms. Panic. Succulents. I'm looking around my room for inspiration and getting nothing. I'm getting nothing. Okay, I'm going down. What's happening? Pie Patch is derived from a username I kind of use sometimes called Pirate Patchwork. So I think I'm going to go Patch Piework. There we go. That's something. Wait, let's make it look... Pie... Yeah? I'm not... Piework. Patch Piework. No, it's the H. We're going with the H. Let's go it. Patch Piework. Let's go. Okay. I literally sat there for 20 minutes. Let's just go. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. Damn, America! During the summer, your mums didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mum called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. Oh. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people. Since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. I am anxious, but we are playing this game to the fullest. We're gonna live our best lives. This game is wholesome, and I want to channel that energy. So, you ended up saying hi to lots of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. Let's go. You enjoyed learning all about where they were visiting from and hoped to visit those places one day too. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your mums called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your mums had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie, my aunt is called Lizzie, about this kind of situation before. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it could be okay to talk to. I don't know. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You remember that it was okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. Oh, that's true. I get the impression that I'm quite young. I'm gonna go with this option. I'm very aware of safety. You weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way. He's sitting just like at my front door. What a weirdo. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about whether he was nice or not. You didn't want to be bothered. I am apprehensive. You slowed down, your mind racing for ideas on how to get past him unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met and you took in a shaky breath, your eyes darting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! His voice startled you and made you jump, but still you didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way towards you. Run away, child! Run away! Not wanting to seem too approachable, you folded your arms and stared. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, offered the stranger a smile. I'll be nice, I guess. The man gives a grin of his own back. Okay. Oh! Well, you didn't say he was pretty. Okay, that changes things. I like your tattoo, bud. Okay, cool. And you're blinking. Okay. I don't know why I didn't expect that, but I appreciate it. I like your hair. Do you live around here? What's your name? You looked the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and oh, hell yeah, shark shorts! I didn't even notice! And a stingray tattoo. And you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. I get that vibe. I get the vibe for sure. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. I don't remember your question. Let's be assertive. I live right here! My name is Patch! Great! Nice to meet you, Patch. He's a surfer guy. Clearly, I've got to give him that voice. He gave you a broad smile, relief settling on his face. Are you bribing me, sir? What is happening? He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused before, you looked back at him. Sir? Hey, bud, what the fuck? Well, could you do me a favor? No. No, I cannot. Nothing bad, sorry, I should have... Let me start over. Yeah, bud. I'm like 3. Who do you think you are? He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing... Well, is he... Oh, no. Don't mind me. It just made him look creepier. I'm sorry, how old are you supposed to be? I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. Cove. That seems like a strange name for an actual living person. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy is definitely obsessed. Is definitely the sexual one. You thought that was pretty cool. But definitely the kind of name someone like this guy would give their kid. Oh, for sure, for sure. We moved across the street, see? He gestured towards a house that had been empty for a year. Who did you kill? Why has it been empty for a year? This place seems nice. There are lots of tourists. How does it sit empty for a year? But I mean, like, I appreciate weird hot surfer dad that you just decided to take it up at random. Do you always wear surfing stuff? Anyway, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Patch Pyeworth. Pyeworth, right? I forgot my own name. I met your mums earlier and they told me you were 8. Oh, I'm 8. Yeah, bud, you just offering me money out here on the street. Were you waiting for me? And they told me you were 8, just like him, so... He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips. Who are you? I mean, I know who you are, but get away from me. You're bribing me to be friends with the boy? The boy, sir? Can you try and be friends with the boy? The boy? Sir? I'm 8. You don't need to bribe me. I just want to go home. Just give it a chance and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You like him. Then why do you need to bribe me? But you gotta keep it secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you, or that he bribed me. You eyed the man. You feel kind of sorry for Cove. I feel very sorry for Cove. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? I kind of felt sorry for Cove. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that. You know, from the books I read, because I don't have my own friends. What do you say? Want to make a deal? With the devil? What is happening? I don't want your money. I don't want to be paid for that. Wait, do I have a voice? Why did I just assume I'm a brat? I don't want to be paid for that. It's too weird. He deflated enough to notice, but not completely. Are you sure? What the heck is happening? Are you sure? It won't be so bad, even if it's just for the summer. That'd be enough. That only made this sound more strange to you. I know, I'm happy to be his friend. I just don't want to be paid to do it. Why does it... $20 is pretty good though. Why does it lasting for the summer matter? Is he dying? Oh. When it was clear his initial strategy wasn't going to fly, he tucked the bill into his back pocket and changed the request. I get it. You don't have to. Would you be comfortable with he and I coming by for a normal visit? No money involved. Hell yeah, bud. Oh my god, there's 5 options. Whoa. Yeah, I want to meet him. Okay, you can do that. I guess. You have to ask my mums. You do- I want to replay this and just not speak throughout the entire game. Yeah, I want to meet him. Hell yeah, bring him over. His smile got bigger again. His eyes crinkled at the sides. Damn, Cove's dad, that is one hell of a smile you got there, despite being a huge creeper. This is 21-year-old me speaking and not 8-year-old me. 8-year-old me did not recognize other human beings as being pretty, okay? They were all just weird other flesh shoots that I had to compete against. I'll bring him back tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but, well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. This man needs a hug, not from me. If you want to see him, can you tell him to come on home? Wait, if you see him. If you want to see him too, that's also cool, I guess, but like, whatever. I'm just trying to set my son up. With a friend, it's not... Oh, heck. He's got a pink cast and... What did he... I'm looking into this too much. This is probably completely normal and I'm reading into everything far too much. He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. I can try. Ugh. You nodded. Stoically. Like the deadpan... completely undead on the inside 8-year-old that I am. I have no soul, sir, but sure, I'll look out for your pink-casted son. Not totally certain that you'd find Cove, but willing to look. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Yeah, thanks, bud. My mums will fight you. Your mum's already checking around for me, so a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. Yeah, were you... Yeah. That voice sounded familiar. I need to turn this volume up. I thought he might come back and... That's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, Patch. So much. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Okay. Oh, up to our first step. Hell yeah, if you skip the tutorial... Whatever. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted... I'm sorry, let me reread that The chirping of the crickets in the tall grass yeeted you. Quiet and familiar. Okay, moving on. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You've always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You love to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and sea serpents you imagined living far beneath the waves. That does sound like me, for sure, for sure. You didn't enjoy the beach all that much, especially the sand, which got absolutely everywhere. Give me mermaids, baby! Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. And you know, I was pretending to be a mermaid. Everyone did that, right? You took a deep breath. You wanted to try and relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you you weren't alone, so you glanced around. Oh, are you okay, buddy? You've got zigzag eyebrows. Your hair is pretty, though. There was a boy sitting on the top of one hill, almost completely hidden, with the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. You look nice. Not creepy like your dad. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild. The deer didn't have... the deer didn't have... Oh, okay, I was confused. You're right. Deers usually don't have green hair. But this new boy did. Nice. You watched as it fluttered softly around his face in the breeze. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another, and then he glanced your way. His eyes are aquamarine? Whoa! His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him, and show you weren't scary. Army space cadet? Nah, that's... Hey, I get the vibe, but like... Nah. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his sides. Oh, buddy! You suddenly look a lot younger. Oh, bud, you need a hug. Hey, can we be friends? You seem nice. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He's crying. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. You obviously caught him off guard. His pink car seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? His eyes wide, he studied you. How do you know that? I am all-knowing, child! Bow before me! I command your everlasting existence, and I shall strike you down at any given moment. Fear me! Mortal? Lucky guess. I'm all-knowing! Oh, he didn't like that. That's a lie. Tell the truth. Okay, your dad told me who you were. Oh. So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. You can't own a hill. I'm saying we can share it. That's what I mean. Why not? How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Well, this still isn't mine. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. The night wind was cool as it travelled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why'd your family move? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Oh, almost like they'd never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents... They don't want to live together with me anymore. Oh, buddy. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mum made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your mums, but it must be pretty hard. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Oh, Mummy! Patch! So it threw me off to hear a voice. I'm home alone and... Ooh. Cove? Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. You can handle it. You have to go. Don't worry so much. It'll be okay. You were struck by a sudden need to reassure Cove. It's not going to be all fun, but isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. Then you can count on him when you really, really need him. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked toward the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm. Sorry, I still don't want to go. You called out yourself. I think I'll wait silently with him. Right now, like, they're gonna find us eventually, but right now he needs a friend. And I can be that for him. You waited silently with him. Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad, even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you and they rushed over. My mums are so pretty! Wow. Oh, dang it, one of my mums has a pit. Damn, I lucked out. This is gonna be an interesting game. Both of your mums were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Patch, you're here after all. We'd been in the park to check for Cove and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. I don't know what voices to give them. No, we were just sitting in the grass. Why is everybody acting like this is such a big thing? We're okay, don't worry. Cove didn't want to go home just yet. Maybe? I think. No, we were just sitting in the grass. Okay, so she's reacted. So this is Mummy and this is Mum. Oh, thank God you're both fine. Were you two having fun out here? You looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. You shrugged. Yes, I like him. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. Yeah, I like him. You nodded, smiling slightly. He looks angry. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you. Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Which voice is which? I can't remember. Mummy is the cool one with the piercing. Good thing Patch knows this whole area so well. Absolutely. We should get going home now. It's been a long day for all of us. Say goodbye, Cove. Bye. Or whatever. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading towards the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what. We'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? Sure, can I show him my stuff? It sounds like words. I'm a sassy little one, aren't I? Sure, can I show him my Lego collection? Hell yeah, thanks, Mum. I mean, Mummy. You need different names. And your real names don't count. You don't have real names. You're Mummy and Mum and nothing else. Okay. Both of your mums laughed, the sound overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mummy put her arm around your shoulder and led you toward the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Oh! Choose your feelings for Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove for this step. You can change in later steps. This is so cool. Comfort. I think I feel relaxed. I think relaxed. I think I'm fond of him. It's not like he's just, I think I'm feeling a little bit almost protective. Like, this kid's clearly going through a rough time, and I feel like I'm in a position to kind of offer some friendship that he could need. So, yeah, I think I'm fond of him. We're chill. You won't be able to change it again, that's cool. I'm step 1 at relaxed fondness. Yeah, I like that. Childhood friendship achievement unlocked. Hell yeah. At the breakfast table the next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you'd stayed put. Today, just like your mums had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Patch? Yeah, I am. Oh, I got another achievement. Relaxed. Oh, that voice sounds familiar too. I probably just heard all of the voice actors by this point, just like all of them. How sweet! How sweet! I'm so happy he moved in. With that said, are you done with your breakfast? I don't know. Am I? Yeah. I don't know. Am I? You gestured down to the empty dish in front of you, raising your eyebrows dramatically. Okay, we see. Good job. You should be here soon. Cleanup began, and then, on cue, there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Patch, could you get it? Wiggling out of your chair without really pushing it back, you made your way to the door. Hi guys. Okay. I keep seeing my last name and forgetting how to pronounce it. It's Piework. That's it. Hey, Piework family. Thanks for having us. Mr. Holden. Your last name is Holden? I don't know why I find that funny. My name is Patch Piework. I have no room to stand right now. Mr. Holden, as your mums had called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him and Mum and Mummy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see your new friend again, you smiled at Cove. He smiled back with some hesitation. Let's go play in my room. Okay. Let us know if you need oh wait, nope, other voice, dang it. Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids. See you later, son. Play nice. Oh my gosh, my room is cute. What is this Harlequin penguin bear. A Harlequin penguin bear, a clown penguin bear, and an off his head sheep. Look, there's nice drawings though. It's a pineapple with big eyes, I see there. Okay, very nice, very nice. Anyway, irrelevant. Get back to the story. What am I doing? You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. There were lots of stuffed animals, a cool bed, a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. Thank you. I don't. It fucking sucks. What, are you blind? Clearly, glasses. I drew that. Cool. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. Started to feel a bit nervous. You felt the atmosphere was kinda awkward. You were glad for the company. You hope he liked your room. I don't think it's awkward. I hope he likes my room. I worked hard on this room. You hoped he liked your room. You'd put a lot of effort into making your room as nice as it was. You hoped he didn't say anything bad about it. Then his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things you'd collected, tucked away by your door. He took a step towards it, before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found at the beach. Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. I think so. Yeah, see? You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand. Neat. This is a cool collection. You got the sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice, or to be like... I want to pronounce this correctly. Shiloh? That's a nice name. I like that. He actually meant it. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Shiloh is going to be here today. Shiloh? Lizzie's friend, or like, her #1 fan, I guess. Do I have to see him? It should be okay. I mean, he's Lizzie's friend, not mine, but, you know. Come on, check out my shells some more. I found this one under a big piece of seaweed that had washed ashore, and you pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one, and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small... you've got a nice smile. Big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Over the past few years, you'd even learned some of their scientific names. Damn. The collection was so huge and varied that you had lots of funny stories to tell for all of them. Your voice faltered a little bit. But you kept going as best you could. I think I've got lots of funny stories. Hell yeah, I want to befriend this child, so I'm going to tell him my hilarious anecdotes. Accept my anecdotes, child. Apparently fascinated either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. This is sweet. I like it. Like when you almost got pinched by a hermit crab while searching for shells, and after watching him scuttle back into the ocean, you found another empty shell that was almost a twin to his home. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. But Cove hadn't been mean to you, so you didn't mind. You smiled at him every now and then, showing him your collection. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mummy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guessed it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that a parent made it happen. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was part of it would have been a bad idea. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. No, you're fine. Okay, be careful. I will. You weren't sure if you could trust someone else with your treasures yet, so you stayed next to him while he opened the lid and peered inside. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. Whoa, that's a new face. Hey, you're settling in. Hey, good job, bud. I think this is the best of them. That's my favorite too. Cove smiled at you and you both admired the shell together. It was a giant conch with shades of dark and light orange. If you held it to your ear, you could practically hear the ocean. I found that one last summer when we went to the beach on a picnic. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh. He knew where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. You'll be alright. He's here. We can't tell him to leave. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, he stepped forward, then paused. Do you want to break your other arm? Shiloh is the least scary person alive. Cheer up, Shiloh's gonna like you. Don't tell him to cheer up. He's allowed to feel his emotions. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. Good idea, let's go. You know what? My friend wants to climb out a window, and I'm with you, bud. All for it. Let's do this. I'll come with you. Hurry, they'll see where we're going. He glanced back at you, then nodded. The two of you made your way to the window together. It wasn't much of a distance to clamber out, but by the time you landed gently in the bushes, you looked up to see that Cove was already taking off away from the house. He was fast, but you knew you could outrun him if you had to. He was not that fast. You knew you could outrun him if you had to. He was not that fast, but neither were you. At this speed, you weren't sure if you could go fast enough to reach him. He was fast. But we're both fast, okay? Cove! You ran as fast as your legs would take you, grass whipping around your ankles as you did so. Cautiously, Cove slowed to a halt and looked back at you. Where are you going? I don't know. Somewhere else. I just don't want to see... God, what voice am I going to do for this? Am I going to make Shiloh and... I need to know what... I gotta know what Shiloh looks like first. Patch! Exclamation mark. You looked back and saw Shiloh hopping down the hill after you, the backpack he clutched bouncing all the way along the way. Okay, no. I need to give him a voice now, and I think I can already tell. What are you doing? Can I come along? He must have seen you leaving out the window and followed behind. Oh, yeah. Very, Angus MacDonald. Oh, hi! Are you Cove? Yeah. I'm Shiloh. Okay. Yeah, are we going back or are you gonna play outside? He's always got a cold. Shiloh's eyes moved between you and Cove, the smile remaining strong on his face. It got a tiny frown from Cove in response. You were just grateful he hadn't asked why you had been running away. Inside, we left the box on the floor. Right, my shells and stuff. We have to make sure they're okay. Okay. With Shiloh trailing behind, you and Cove headed back toward the house. Oh, mission fail. The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach things some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. Hey, check out this scallop shell I found. Scallop shell I found. Cool, right? It's a pretty color. Kinda like my cast. The beautiful glittering pink did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay. Thanks, Shiloh. Is it your favorite color? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool. I guess. Hey, I like those colors too. There are better colors. Not sure how to deal with this suddenly more awkward silence. You look back at your shells. I like those colors too. Awesome. Both of them smiled. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favourite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of the park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yeah, I bet it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do too, right, Patch? The park is fun. No. The park's pretty great. I love it. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's right at the beach, so there's lots of fun stuff to do and lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of... Hell yeah, swings, baby! That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we gonna go find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just want to check the park out. Adrift without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your mums, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your mums that it was so short she could always be allowed to walk there by herself. Damn! How old is Lizzie? Because I was picturing her as like younger than us, but maybe she's older. When you found her, she was hanging out on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie. Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. Patch! Oh, wait. Okay, what kind of voice? Patch! Shiloh! Hi! What did she look like? I need to see. She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. You wondered if he would leave too. Oh my goodness, you princess! You're so pretty, so cute! That's a lovely dress, and your hair is immaculate. Okay, what a queen. Who's that? It's Cove. He's new. I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes by to play here, so it's where we get together. She gestured wildly with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough that the others wouldn't overhear. I thought kids couldn't own places like parks or hills. You couldn't help but laugh a tiny bit. While Lizzie continued walking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wriggle your toes through the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are? Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Lizzie is the oldest. By a lot. My mom said you're Patch's age. Yeah. Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. What about the other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try and steal your youth. Oh. God, poor Cove. Lizzie. For a second it looked like he might cry again, but something in his eyes shifted and he looked back at Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like mums and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Only some of them don't like kids. Stop saying stuff like that. You're going to upset him. Yeah, they're really bad. I don't want to out him. Okay? I'm not outing him as being upset. He's the cool new kid. I'll leave him be. Only some of them don't like kids. You interjected quickly, hoping Lizzie wouldn't take things too far. Cove sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Patch in school. You'll see tons of kids there once summer is over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Shiloh looked down at the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. Whoa, where did that laugh come from? At Shiloh's discomfort at how weird she thought Cove was, it's something else entirely, you don't really know. But she laughed, face scrunching up. Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put your feet up, and get used to it. You offered him a small smile, and that, at least, looked to reassure him some. And then we all died. What? For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way sun and lunch and the beach were. During your first summer together, you really liked Cove. He was a fun person to play with, and he seemed to like playing with you too. Of course, that was only the start of things. What? Oh! So now we get to select the moments. Oh, I see. Well, oh my god, have I not saved this entire time? Jeez. Ugh. But I'm gonna leave this one here. We've been playing. What time is it? We've been playing for a while. Oh my gosh, it's time for lunch, baby. I'm gonna make myself some pasta. Some pasta. What am I doing? And next time we can look forward to picking one of these. I know we don't need to do them in order. That's what the tutorial said. So I'll see which one I'm vibing with. That pretzel is looking like a snack though. Probably because it is. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Goodbye.